Hi everybody, we are doing chapter 22 of FARSIGHTED. So we are going to do, this is going to be like a really quick chapter, but the thing is I just had to re-record and I thought I had done chapter 22, so that's why it's taken so long for it to come up. So I'm really sorry for anyone who's been waiting, but we're almost done, guys. I'm so happy you guys have been sticking with me through the journey, and life's been busy and things like that. College is almost coming and things like that, so, Anyway, chapter 22. The traveler must connect with the land to achieve new physical and spiritual ground. Be warned, just as the land provides sustenance, it also overtakes us. It can also overtake us. The telepathic conversation I had with Dax totally freaked me out. At first, I tried to explain it away as a hallucination created by the energy drink. Maybe my future self was present in the scene, and that's who Dax was talking to. But the next time I enter a caffeine-induced trance, there he is again. Obsessed much? Dax sneers. If you keep following me like this, eventually I'm going to have to come find you, and I don't think you'd like that very much. I take a risk and talk back, disguising my voice as I do. I'm not following you. I'm lost. Could you tell me where I am? Ha, nice try. You think I'm an imbecile? No, of course not, sir, I say politely in my false voice. Please, might I trouble you for the date? Dax groans. If I tell you, will you go away? It's March 22nd. Now leave me alone already. I end the vision. Today's March 22nd. Unless the vision takes place in a different year, which I really doubt since I'm able to talk to Dax. I think we've got enough to pinpoint him. Between Dad's legwork in New York and my ability to spy on Dax at will, it's only a matter of time until we get him. The time has come for me to fight my giant. The time has come for me to fight my giant. Dad is psyched about my latest ability. Get Oletta to bring you to New York. I think we've got enough to find this kid and put an end to whatever he's got planned. Or might plan, in the future. I go through another day of school. A day that could very well be my last. It's funny how normal it is. Brady comes up behind me in the cafeteria and musses up my hair aggressively, making some lame jokes that his cronies find hilarious. My teachers drone on about the importance of history, math, and literature. Nobody has the slightest hint of what's about to come. Nobody except Simi and Shapri. Afterward, I take the routine walk to Oracle's with the girls. I let them yammer on about their days. I don't want them knowing about my shiny new gift and the first approaching trip. In the fast approaching trip, I don't want them to insist on tagging along and putting themselves in danger. At the shop, I wait patiently as Simi does her exercises. Listen as Shapri complains. I do my thing with the runes, even though I've mastered it, then leave early, saying that I'm going to go help Mom met the sweet blossoms. The girls both volunteer to assist, clinging to me like prickly burrs. Mom keeps them busy with setting flowers and sweeping floors, allowing me to escape back to Miss Teak's. I push the door open. A gust of wind enters behind me. A new incense stick is burning in the shop today, a combination of wood and cherries. Miss Teak is in the front of the shop, sorting through a stack of papers. The inner sanctum, I command. Close the door. She follows me into the privacy chamber without asking a single question. I begin to tell her about the latest developments and Dad's instructions to meet him in New York, but she stops me. I've already been told. We'll leave tomorrow morning, she says, sounding like her old, phony self again, probably trying to capitalize on the voodoo strangeness of the situation. Dad handles Mom over the phone, leaving me to pack for my journey, but with no idea how long I'll be gone. I grab a stack of clothes from my closet and shove them into my backpack. It has to be enough. I wake up with my alarm the next... You wake up with your alarm? Okay. I wake up with my alarm the next morning and go through the motions of getting ready for school, even though I'm actually preparing for something much bigger. Unluckily for me, it's Friday, which means that if I make it out alive, I'll only have gotten a free pass on a single day. The doorbell rings while I'm in the shower. Miss Teak, the horsewoman of my own personal apocalypse, has arrived. Mom lets her in. Their voices mix with the pitter-patter of the shower head. I get dressed as slowly as possible. Earlier this year, if someone had told me that I'd be going on a road trip with Miss Teague, I would have told them they're nuts. Maybe punched them too, for good measure. I spray a mist of deodorant on my upper body. It's a new one. Yuck. Axe. If I get out of this alive, I'll need to explain to Mom why this particular brand is not okay. There you are, Oak Tree, looking much bigger and braver than usual. Ready to take on the world? Mom says as I step out of the bathroom. She piles a bunch of food onto my plate and hands me a glass of apple juice. Reading the expression on my face, she adds, Hey, we agreed. No more worrying. Anyway, everything will be okay. Your father promised, and I don't think he wants to risk what I'll do to him if he doesn't make sure of it. You'll all be back at home in no time. Her voice catches as she says this last part. Of course we will. Of course we will. Simmy chimes in. Yeah, I guess, Shapri says. I'm pretty peeved that they're here, especially when I went through all that trouble to keep them out of this. We need them, Miss Teak says, as if she's the one who can read minds in this quirky little posse. But they'll be safer with you than without. I brought more Monster, Shapri teases, holding up an open can and swishing the liquid around inside. And I just brought me, but I'll help in whatever way I can, Simmy offers. Hurry up now, Alex. Hurry up now, Alex. Eat your eggs and get out of here, Mom chokes out, giving me a peck on the shoulder for good luck. Her tone lacks its usual pep. There's no arguing now. At least Mom isn't coming with me. If something goes wrong, one of the people I care about will stay alive. What a comfort. We say our goodbyes and pile into Mystique's sedan. I call shotgun. We've got short 14 hours from here to New York. That's not including breaks. Shapri and I will take turns at the wheel. We should reach our destination before the day is over. Greg is waiting for us at a small hotel on Long Island, Mystique says, pulling away from my house. Shapri reaches between her mom and I to turn the dial of the radio. Jazzy beats permeate the vehicle's interior. Grassy smells follow her as she leans back into her seat. What made you decide to come? I ask Shapri. I didn't. I've been forced. Shapri pouts. This will be good for you, Mystique says, but otherwise leaves us to our conversation. And why on earth would you want to put yourself in the path of a raging bull when you're so clearly wearing red? I ask Simi, delighted with my metaphor. It's my life worth fighting for. I want to join. It's too dangerous, Simi. You shouldn't be here, I argue. Thanks for worrying about me, Shapri. Thanks for worrying about me, Shapri grumbles. No, really, I'll be fine. Thanks for asking. We may need her gifts, Alex, Mystique explains, and that's the end of the conversation. I sigh and slink back into my seat. Maybe I can sleep the whole way through this. Darn it, I forgot my pills. Shapri kicks my seat from behind. You're not going to sleep. You need to hunt down that guy and figure out where he is. So we waste as little as time as possible on this stupid trip. I thought you didn't believe, I challenge. I don't, but it's easier to go along with all of this craziness so I can just get back home and get back to business as usual. She's right, Alex. Simi agrees. You need to use this time to find Dax. Here, take my bracelet. She passes the metal circle forward. No, that's okay. I've got mine, I say, holding my wrist up in display and flexing. Oh my gosh, tongue twisted. Anyway, that doesn't always work for me. I found it's easier to have too many thoughts, and then to have none at all. That's right, my boy. Here's some liquid energy to get the job done. Shapri thrusts a cold can at me. I flip the tab and take a swig. Okay, but then none of you can talk or make fun of me later. They all agree. And no background noise. I grope about until I find the radio dial and turn it off. Hey, Shapri whines. Enough, Mystique warns. Give him the environment he needs. I don't hear anything more from my companions until we stop for lunch. We eat all of our meals at McDonald's on this trip, mostly because the food is cheap and the restaurants are everywhere. Simi is none too thrilled since she's stuck eating garden salads,
Messages.
empty
Now,
hamburger
Starly Swanayong.
buns.
Thank you. Looking forward to seeing you soon at the beginning of the...
Simmy's...
Speech off.
Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Simmy is none too thrilled since she's stuck eating garden salads and empty hamburger buns. I order like 5 sandwiches off the dollar menu and a large strawberry milkshake. Last supper or not, I enjoy the meal thoroughly. What have you figured out? Simmy asks, as she rips a bun into little pieces and sets them on a crinkly wrapper. He's running from something and he knows I'm watching him, which pisses him off. As far as I can tell, he's in the city. There's always tons of noise around him. Cars honking, tires screeching, people yelling into their cell phones. That's good. What else? Miss Teak asks. Dunno. There's almost too much going on to pick up on anything individual. On any individual hints. I need to wait for him to go someplace quieter. But I think he knows that too, so he's purposely staying in busy areas. Maybe you should take a break, Shapri says. You look tired. A break might throw him off guard, Miss Teak adds. Stop for a few hours. Take a nap if you want. Then sneak back up on him and kapow! Shapri says, slapping the table and making us all jump. Girl, you seriously need to calm down, Miss Teak says, then laughs. I tried to remember if I've ever heard her laugh before. I don't think I have. Back in the car, I doze for a few hours, which gives the others a chance to actually talk to each other. I can only imagine how bored they must have been sitting in silence for hours upon hours. When I wake up, they quiet down, so I check in on Dax. He's somewhere different than before. Noise roars like an ocean all around me, but it's not the sound of a city street. The delicious aroma of hot dogs and popcorn, soured by the bitter stench of beer, hangs in the air. Music plays, and people cheer. An old rock song booms over the speakers. The crowd stomps their feet to the rhythm, causing the whole place to rumble. I can't make out Dax in the ruckus, but he's got to be in there somewhere. Here comes Posada to the plate. The season's just started, but he's been white hot. More RBIs than any other player so far. Could he lead the team to their 28th World Series win? If anyone can do it, Posada can, another announcer says. Here comes the pitch. And there goes my vision. Call Dad, I tell the others. Call him first, and I'll tell you all together. I figured out where Dax is. I found him. Simmy dials and puts Dad on speaker, passing me the phone. Dad, I just saw Dax at a baseball game. What do you know about RBIs? Posada and 28 World Series wins, I ask, ticking off each new piece of information on a finger. Those damn Yankees. Haven't gotten anything on the Sox, Dad grumbles, wearing his accent as a badge of pride rather than an indication of his power. Baseball baseball talk has a way of doing that to him. We're closing in real tight. The kids in the Bronx. How should we proceed? Miss Teak asks from the back seat. As Shapri continues to drive. I'll get us a motel closer to our target, and then call back with the new address. Meanwhile, give it a rest, Alex. You can trick him again once everybody's here and ready to strike. I want the guy to relax, to think we've let up. And then, kapow! Shapri cheers, honking the car's horn and drawing a reprimand from her mother. Right, kapow, Dad says, laughing as he hangs up the phone. The trip goes by much faster now that I'm not expected to be expected to place by. We've got an endless supply of jazz music to accompany us on our journey. As one station starts fuzzing up, Shapri flips through all the other channels until she finds a new one. It all sounds the same to me. Repetitive chaos. But I do like having the background noise. We reach the city at about 10 and our motel at 11:30. Who would have thought traffic could be so bad this late at night? As soon as I step out the car, I recognize the smell of sewage mixed with pizza. The exact same odor that clung to the sky when I saw the five of us fight with Jax. Then I held Simi while she bled to death. It's do or let Simi die time. I've got to be on my sharpest game. Can't let the others see how scared I am. Dad has reserved only one room with 2 beds to accommodate the 5 of us because city motels are super expensive. He and I sleep on the floor and give the girls the beds. The carpet smells like feet, making me want to barf up all of those burgers, milkshakes, and chicken nuggets from earlier in the day. But luckily I don't. I do have one nightmare. I wake up and pad over to the edge of Simi's bed and touch her face. She sleeps so peacefully, so securely. She trusts me with her life. Knowing nothing can happen to her when I'm so near gives me solace. I go back to sleep and don't wake until the next morning when I hear Dad messing around with a zipper. Didn't you bring any sweaters? He whispers to me. It's snowing out. What about global warming and our reserve Indian summer? You think I make this stuff up for fun? Go see for yourself, he hisses. I pad outside with bare feet and step onto the cement balcony that joins all the rooms from outside. Sure enough, a snowflake lands on my cheek, sending a shiver down my spine. I told you, Dad teases as I come back inside. This is not going to be a good day. New Yorkers turn into animals when the weather gets bad, especially when they think the season for it's through. Here, take my jacket. He tosses his thick lumberjack coat at me, and I slip it on over my pajamas. Not now, Dad teases, for later, when we're actually outside. Whatever, I say, refusing to take the jacket off. It smells like outdoors, and is cold at first, crisp even. So, where's our man? I haven't checked yet. I yawn. Well, go check already. Dad's voice. Well, go check already. Dad's voice is a hurried whisper. I stand back and head to the bathroom for a little privacy. After peeing, I tune in to channel Dax. All crazy all the time. The air is cold and his breath is shaking. Outside, without a jacket, no doubt, he's striding across the pavement. A bird caws in the distance, caw-caw, caw-caw, instead of chirp, chirp. Just couldn't stay away, could you? He addresses me with a shiver in his voice. Did you have a good night's sleep? Because you're going to need it. I don't say anything. Just keep listening. A trumpet sounds. The 6 millionth trumpet I've heard in the last 24 hours, thanks to Shapri's taste in music. Have you figured out where I am? Dax taunts. Come on now, it's not hard. He enters a building. The air is uncomfortably warm, sending shocks to my system. It smells like liquid soap, liquid pop. Feels that way, too. Still haven't figured it out? Dax asks with an overdrawn hiss. He turns around and goes back outside. Why? Why do you want me to know? I ask. Well, if you insist on following me everywhere, I think it'd be nice to meet face to face, don't you? I'm waiting for you, you know. A chorus of voices mixes together, babies, kids, and adults. A gust of wind sweeps by as a group of people walking past, speaking a language I don't quite recognize. Chinese, maybe? Now, Alex, don't be stupid. This isn't a difficult puzzle to solve. He jogs down the path, a ways, before speaking again, this time to someone else. Hey, buddy, can you introduce yourself to my dense friend? No? Okay. But only because you made me. Something falls in the distance. An animalistic roar rings through the air. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I was asking for. He speaks to me again. You get it now? My mediocre friend? I gulp. Yeah, I get it. The snow, the sounds, the people, the roar. I've had this vision before, and it ended with people running away screaming and crying. Dax is waiting for me at the Bronx Zoo, ready to make his next big move.